Hi all, my name is Kit and this is the third video in my Taught Scripting series. So this is going to be a fairly short one probably, but I wanted to tackle, there are folks who have gone into more depth about how to set up quests and things, so I'm not really going to get into the nitty-gritty of that part of things, but one thing that I've seen folks asking both in my comments and on the Discord was about how to do like a random daily quest, how to, you have a list of quests and you want that to be assigned randomly to the player instead of having to pick a specific quest to give them. So I thought I'd show you that today. Now, there is a little bit of pre-work that we have to do for this. Um, I use, and I'm going to be using in this video, a script that was created by Noms, N-O-M-S, on the Discord. It's a cooldown script. So I will put the link in the description, but before you get started on this, you do need to import that script because we are going to be using it. So go ahead and do that. And as you can see, I already have this script in my server, so I don't want to replace it, but you'll go ahead and say that you want to go ahead and import it. And then the other pre-work that we have to do to get started is we've got to get some quests in here to choose from. So first of all, if you have not already made quest categories, you do have to do that first, and that's under general settings. I have a category for dailies, so we're gonna just work with my general dailies category. And then you have to create the quests that you want to go in the list. So I just made a couple of quick, lazy ones. They're just called random daily 1, 2, and 3. And they're I think one plant fiber, two plant fiber, yeah, three plant fiber. Nothing exciting, but I just wanted to have something in there to use as a demonstration. So then we're going to go to our scripting, create a new script. I'm going to call it random daily quest. You can call it whatever you want. And the first thing we want to do is set up our quest list. So we do want to make that a list. I'm just going to call it list choices. And then we're going to add all of the quests that we want to be potentially chosen from. And then we need another quest variable that's going to hold, once something is chosen from that random list, we want to hold what the choice was. Great. So we interact with this puppet. What is the first thing that we need to do? Well, we need to check whether it's still in cooldown, if this person has already done the quest in the last 20 hours is usually what people do. You can do a different time amount if you want to. That's kind of what I've heard is the standard. And then second of all, we want to check, do they already have one of these quests that they're working on? Because you also don't want to give it to them if they're still doing a daily. So first I'm going to check the cooldown, and that's when this cooldown script from Noms comes in. So we're going to run subscript and find that script that you imported. So the cooldown UID, it can be whatever you want. Try to make it something you're going to remember. So I'm just going to say daily quests. Seems easy to remember. Like I said, the duration that I'm going to put on this is 20 hours, which is kind of standard. And the reason that you don't do 24 is because, you know, if a person does it late in the day, you don't want them, oh, I did it right before I went to bed. Well, now tomorrow I can't do it until it's almost bedtime. I can't do it a little bit earlier. So that's why you do a little less than 24 hours. We don't want it to be global. We want it to be specific to the player. And then this script is built so that it can both check cooldowns and set cooldowns. So that's what this should activate is when you want to set a cooldown. So that's not what we're doing here. We'll do that later. So really the only other thing that we have to do is store this variable to tell us whether it is in fact on cooldown. So we'll make a Boolean to store that information. And then we're going to branch based on whether it is or isn't in cooldown. So if it is in cooldown, let's just have a little dialogue from an NPC that says, sorry, I don't have any quest for you right now. I'm going to create a variable for the NPC name because I like to only type it once. And let's be, I think I called him Alwyn. All right. And then once he's said that, we'll give them the opportunity to just hit a thing to leave and close the dialogue. Click that and close. I'm also going to add an anchor here because there is a place later when I want to send them to that leave and close the window and not have to retype it. So just call this leave dialogue. Okay. But if it's false, that means they're not in cooldown for the dailies. So the next thing that we want to check is whether they already have a daily quest. I am doing that by category. I think that's probably the best way to do it. So we're going to check if they, and the node is called has quest category. And the category we want to check is dailies. So let's move this out a little bit because if they already have this quest, same thing. We want to send them to a dialogue that just says, I don't have anything for you right now, and that lets them leave the dialogue. However, if they don't already have that quest category, then what that means is we are good to proceed with picking a random quest and giving it to them. So from here, I love this. I use it for a variety of things, but there is this wonderful get random list value node. So anytime you have a list and you want to pick something off it randomly, that's what this is for. It's great. I love it. So the list we're going to use is our quest choices, and we're going to save that value in quest chosen so we know which one was chosen. Now you could just go ahead and give them this quest. I'm going to give them a little bit of dialogue to introduce like what's happening here, as well as give them a choice because they might not feel like doing a quest right now. They might want to say no, thank you. So I'm going to give them a little bit of an option. And then we're going to create an answers group for them to say yes or no. And always make sure to send your answer groups after you have built them, because if you don't send them, nothing happens. So if they say no, that's why I threw an anchor up here because I just, instead of rewriting that, I just want to throw them into that leave and then the dialog closes. So let's jump to anchor, leave, dialog. However, if they say yes, then we have two things to do. One of them is obviously assigning the quest to them, and then the second one is setting the cooldown so that when they, complete that quest and come back, we have them in that cooldown of has it been 20 hours. So first, let's try give quest, one variable of our quest chosen. I don't usually do anything with this failed because I don't know what situation where you would have it fail because we've already checked for whether they have uh, quest in this category, so they wouldn't already have it. You could put a path down from the failed just in case. I'm not going to do that because I have not seen that happen. I don't know what situation, since we already checked, would cause that. So I'm going to skip that and just go on to the next step, which is we're going to run that subscript again. And I believe I called it daily quests, but I'm going to double check because my brain is not great. Yep, just copy this, make sure I have it typed exactly the same. So this is where we're going to turn on that should activate. This is how we're setting it so that it will go live, that it will attach to the player, and then next time we check it, it will tell us, if that time has run out. And then we can just go ahead and close the dialog. So really simple. Obviously, you would probably want to add some better dialogue, some more things around it, but this is just the very basic. It picks a random quest for you and gives you that quest. So let's build it and see what it looks like. So this is a puppet that I have for elsewhere in my server, but I just borrowed him for this demonstration. Yes, Alwyn, I was right about the name. So on your puppet, you're gonna on interact, run script. You're gonna find that script that you just created, and then we will test it. So you can see, obviously, I am not in cooldown for dailies, and I don't already have a daily in my quest log. So I get the, hello, adventurer, would you like a quest? If I say no, it just gives me the leave option. But if I say yes, then it picks at random, and it picked number 2 was its random choice and assigns me that quest. So what should happen now that I've been assigned this quest? I'll let it finish loading up here. So because I now have that quest in my list, he's saying, sorry, I don't have any quests for you right now. I am also going to delete this out of my quest log because what should still happen, I should still be on cooldown even if I had finished that quest and cleared it from my log. So let's go ahead and abandon that quest. And then what we should see, yeah, because I'm still in cooldown for the next, 19 hours and 59 minutes, he's still saying, sorry, don't have any quests for you right now. So really simple. This was a short one, but that is how you set up that random list and pick a daily from your random list.